What's the range?
The whole world.
So this is going to go through
The whole world.
up to the satellite and back?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
And being recorded.
Okay.
Are you ready? All right, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13-second delay.
It's kind of going.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13-second delay. Cool? I gotta align the camera. I gotta align the camera. Well, yeah, but in 13 seconds you'll see it.
3,
Let me pull the car out.
4, 5. I can log on to this and see where you're going.
So I have the internet over here. This is a 5G hotspot. So this is connecting to the cell phone network. So my the video, oh, I can't talk with the headphone. The video is coming in from my camera, being streamed to the computer. My cell phone is being recorded onto the computer, and the audio from my microphone on the red thing is being recorded into the computer. And then I'm monitoring the audio with my headphones. If this was easy, everybody do it.
Oh, no, I mean, it's just bloody amazing.
And then did you see the background?
Yeah. In the middle?
It says Morgan Hunter Gross for president. Saturn V gross. It went crazy, the AI, but it's cool. And see a sailboat? There's a sailboat, and there's cars, and there's American flags, and so this is my cell phone there. So let me put up the map so you can see it.
Did you start a previous doing this?
So as I'm going to be driving along, you'll see on the map where I'm going. And I'll have satellite view too. Okay.
Bloody amazing.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah, the video's not perfect. I'm still working this out.
Yeah.
I'll beat this eventually. This is just my first attempt at doing this.
Okay. I'm serious. I think you could start in a garage
But what?
somewhere.
I'd have to like build a product.
You'd have to be able to install this on a car.
No, it'd be a whole system. Like,
Alright.
do you want to stream your life? Pay me money and a subscription fee for the. Basically, you pay me a subscription fee for the hardware. But this isn't what I want to do with my life. I want to run for president
Okay.
and make him change in the planet because I'm tired of what's happening. I haven't done anything for a long enough time. I've just been sitting around learning about stuff, and I'm tired of it. I'm fucking pissed. But yeah, yes, we could make a hardware company and sell this to everybody and make millions of dollars, but that's not the point. If I would have wanted to make money a long time ago, I would have.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't aim this camera. Well, that's not too bad. That's that camera, so you can see what's going on forward.
Guy walking down the street with his dog.
Yeah.
I saw him go by. There he is.
Yeah. To the left a little bit. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, hopefully this all stays together.
I'm gonna get top. The cameras don't fall.
Or the
down.
cameras. Oh, let me plug in the battery so I don't lose power. So that's powering this. So I was running off of this until I turned the. So now I'm charging up the battery. My battery for the electronics. Not separate. So I have this. I can either plug this into the power outlet, and it charges at 200 watts, or I plug it into the cigarette lighter and it charges 100 watts. So right now I'm using 40 watts. So I'm positive. Yeah, I'm positive power right now. And then the satellite dish is just going to plug in right to this DC. So it's not even going to go to AC power. The AC, going to AC, you lose like 20-30%. The AC to DC thing is crazy. Like, why haven't we switched over to a DC system? I would just lay a whole separate DC system on top of everything. If I was in charge.
Yeah. Probably cost a little bit.
But you'd only do it in urban areas. You wouldn't DC the rural areas. That was we had to electrify the whole country for legal reasons. But like, you would only DC power just everything around us. So all the solar panels would go to DC directly instead of going DC to AC, and then back to a laptop, which is DC. It makes no sense. We're just like sitting there wasting tons of electricity. Whatever, that's not the point for right now. You see I taped it up? The cable?
Good.
Hopefully we'll see if that works. I took this as like a little table.
Know that the adhesive melts in the heat.
It's painter's tape, I'm not too worried.
Okay.
Also, like, this is a utilitarian car. Like, it already has, I have to get the clear coat repainted here. So it's like, I'm not really too worried about the car. All right, well,
Alright. Have fun.
hopefully you'll see me the whole way. If I'm curious if I'll maintain a connection the whole time or what happens, or
I'll keep it on.
I mean, so I ordered the satellite thing, so I'll just be able to mount the satellite up on the roof, and then this is definitely no problem. Because the satellite internet is about 10 times faster than this.
So the delay we're seeing.
Oh, the latency is even, it's just like, I'd be able to stream not only on YouTube, I'd be able to stream on multiple networks. I'd be able to stream on Amazon and Google at the same time. Right now I can only stream to one at a time because I don't have enough bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
But theoretically I could stream to YouTube, Twitch, which is Amazon, and you could also stream to X, which is Twitter. So you could stream all three at the same time. I know. I only have like 90 something more days or whatever. So
90 more days.
till the election.
Oh, you better get to work.
I'm working. Do you see what I've been doing all morning?
Yes.
All right. Love you, Dad. Say hi to Mom when she wakes up.
Yeah. Are we gonna see you again?
Yeah, I'll be back. I want to set up the stabilizer. There's a digital stabilizer in the camera, so I turned it on. Testing, testing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. G-Wagon. Oh, internet down. Did we lose connection? Oh, okay. We're going. We're going. Yeah. So, oh, red light! Whoa! Did you get that plate? What's the legality? Where's the line? Should we talk about stuff? Like what kind of stuff? Whoa. What are we witnessing? He's pulling over. Okay. What was it supposed to talk about today? On elections. Let that sit here for a second. We're good? We're good? Do we need to move on? Are we? Okay, let's move on. What's an election?
An election is a process by which people vote to choose individuals to hold public office or decide on specific issues. It's a way for citizens to express their preferences and participate in the governance of their country or community. Elections can occur at various levels, such as local, regional, or national, and they are fundamental to democratic systems.
When was the first election?
The concept of elections dates back thousands of years. One of the earliest known elections occurred in ancient Athens around the 5th century BCE, where citizens voted to select officials and leaders. These elections were a key part of Athenian democracy. However, the process and scope of elections have evolved significantly since then, becoming more inclusive and structured over time.
How were first elections recorded?
If you're interested in early examples of elections or similar selection processes throughout history, here are some notable instances. 1. Ancient Athens, around the 5th century BCE. As I mentioned, Athens is famous for developing one of the earliest forms of democracy. Citizens voted for officials and made decisions through assemblies, although participation was limited to free male citizens. 2. Roman Republic, 509 BCE onwards. The Romans had a complex system of elections where citizens voted for various officials, including consuls and senators. These elections were central to Roman political life. 3. papal elections since 11th century, the process for electing a new pope has been in place since the Middle Ages, evolving into the papal conclave system used today. 4. Medieval Europe, various periods. While not exactly elections as we know them today, there were various forms of council selections and assemblies, such as the Icelandic Althing, which was established around 930 CE, and is one of the oldest parliamentary institutions. 5. British parliamentary elections 13th century onwards. The English Parliament started developing in the 13th century, with the first parliaments being called to advise the king, and eventually evolving to include elected representatives. These examples illustrate how the concept of selecting leaders and decision makers has been various forms across different cultures and eras. Each had its own rules and limitations, often reflecting the social and political norms of the time.
Okay, interesting.
I'm glad you found it interesting. If you have any more questions about elections, history, or anything else, feel free to ask.
You mentioned free men. What does that mean?
In ancient Athens, when referring to free men, it means that only certain individuals were allowed to participate in the democratic process. Specifically, the rights to vote and participate in assemblies were limited to male citizens who were free, meaning they were not enslaved and who had completed their military training.
Whoa.
Women, slaves, and non-citizens, including foreigners, were excluded from voting and participating in political life. This restriction was common in many early democratic systems where full political rights were limited to a subset of the population.
That sounds like in Starship Troopers when you have to serve in the military to vote.
Yes, that's a great comparison. In Starship Troopers, the society depicted is one where citizenship and the right to vote is earned through military or other federal service. This concept reflects the idea that participation in civic duties like serving the country grants one the privilege of influencing its governance. It echoes some historical systems where political rights were linked to specific forms of service or societal contribution, much like the military training requirement in ancient Athens. It's an interesting way to explore themes of civic responsibility and citizenship in a fictional context. Have you read the book or seen the movie?
I also think it's interesting that you can have a subset of the population doing the vote, like the Pope stuff. It's not the whole population choosing the Pope, just a certain population. So you could have a general population vote and then also votes for a specific population like Congress or something like that. But you could have it for people that serve the federal government or public government, get extra vote points or something like that. They get to vote on specific stuff.
That's an intriguing idea. What you're describing is similar to the concept of weighted voting, where different groups might have different levels of influence based on certain criteria, such as service or expertise. In many democratic systems today, there are various levels of representation and different types of elections that reflect this. For instance, you might have general elections where everyone votes for their representatives, like in Congress. Additionally, some countries or organizations might have internal elections where only members of a particular group can vote, such as the election of a party leader or specific professional councils. Your idea of having extra vote points for people who have served in specific capacities is an interesting way to think about acknowledging contributions to society. However, implementing such a system would raise important questions about fairness, equality, and the value of diverse perspectives in decision-making. In historical and fictional contexts, these kinds of systems often explore the balance between rewarding service and maintaining democratic equality. It can lead to rich discussions about civic duty, representation, and the nature of citizenship. What do you think would be the benefits and challenges of such a system?
I lost track. That BMW is sick. Rocket M2, Rocket M2. Dude, look at that wing. So big, so thick. Oh my god, no body roll. So cool. Oh my god, that Mustang's cool too, but like that BMW, whoa, this is a full party going on. 62. Oh, you guys are sick. What a party of four.
Sounds like you're watching or experiencing some exciting car action. The BMW M2 is definitely a standout with its performance and sporty design. It's known for its power and agility, making it among car enthusiasts. The Mustang is also a classic choice with its own style and performance. Seems like you're having a great time checking out these cars and the scene around them. Are you at a car show or watching some races?
No, man, I'm just on the freeway, and they were just getting on the on-ramp doing like a turn. So they're just like, we was able to see the suspension.
Nice. Catching a glimpse of cars like that in action on the freeway can be quite a sight. Seeing how a car handles a turn, especially something as sporty as a BMW M2, can really show off its suspension and handling capabilities. It's like a mini car show right on the road. Do you often see cool cars on your drives?
Yeah, all the time.
That's awesome. It must make driving a lot more interesting. Do you have a favorite car that you've seen, or one you'd love to drive someday?
I'd like to drive a Koenigsegg, maybe the Jesko.
The Koenigsegg Jesko is an incredible choice. It's one of the most advanced hypercars out there, with insane speed and cutting-edge technology. Driving one would definitely be an unforgettable experience. The engineering and performance of Koenigsegg cars are truly impressive. Have you ever seen one in person, or is it more of a dream car for now?
I've only seen one in person at the Peterson Automotive Museum at a car show. It pulled up and went up the driveway.
Seeing a Koenigsegg in action at the Peterson Automotive Museum must have been amazing. That place hosts some incredible cars, and watching a Koenigsegg drive up must have been a real highlight. The sound and presence of a car like the Jesko are something else entirely. It's great that you got to experience that moment in person. Are there any other car shows or events you'd like to attend?
Sometimes, but the problem is they keep getting shut down because people don't behave properly. If there was only a way that a group of people could get together and maybe come to an agreement, something, maybe they choose like representatives to discern where the show is going to be, or maybe they can choose where the next spot is going to be by, I don't know, voting.
That's a great idea. Organizing car shows in a more structured way could help keep them safe and enjoyable for everyone involved. Having a group of representatives to manage the events and communicate with local authorities could ensure that everything runs smoothly. They could work on setting guidelines for behavior, choosing appropriate locations, and even coordinating with law enforcement to prevent disruptions. Voting on locations and event details could also help ensure that the community feels involved and invested in making the events successful. It sounds like a democratic approach to organizing could really benefit the car enthusiast community.
Thanks.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or chat about anything else, reach out today.
I mean, I think something about like all cars can vote, just Subarus or Hondas can vote, or only white Subarus and black Hondas can vote. I feel like all cars can vote no matter what kind of car they are.
That makes sense. Ensuring all car enthusiasts, regardless of the type of car they drive, people say, would help create a more inclusive, fair community. By allowing everyone to vote on the allocations, ensure the gatherings reflect diverse interests and preferences of the entire group. This type of inclusivity can lead to better decision-making and a more united community, where everyone feels welcome and valued. It sounds like a great way to foster collaboration and share enjoyment of the car culture.
Also, a major way for the community to share information. And if someone's having trouble with one of their cars, then you get together and help that person with their car. If they're having problems with the wheels dragging, or the software needing an upgrade, or maintenance, or things like that.
fantastic idea. Creating a community where enthusiasts can share information and support each other is invaluable. Whether it's troubleshooting mechanical issues, sharing tips on upgrades, or providing advice on maintenance, such a network would be incredibly beneficial. Car clubs and online forums often play this role, where members can ask questions and get help from others with similar experiences. Organizing workshops or meetups focused on learning and problem solving could also strengthen the community, fostering collaboration and mutual support. It's great to see how car enthusiasts can come together to help each other out.
So, in United States election history, which came first? Women voting, black people, or people with handicaps?
In the history of United States elections, black men were the first of these groups to gain the right to vote. The 15th Amendment, ratified in 1870, granted black men the right to vote by stating that the right to vote could not be denied based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Women gained the right to vote later with the ratification of the 19th Amendment in 1920, which prohibited denying the right to vote based on sex. People with disabilities gained more voting rights protections with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, which ensured accessibility to polling places and accommodations to help individuals with disabilities vote. However, legal recognition and specific voting rights for people with disabilities developed over time, often following broader civil rights advancements. Each of these milestones was significant in expanding voting rights and making the electoral process more inclusive.
So the right for women to vote came to both black women and white women at the same time?
Yes, the 19th Amendment, ratified in 1920, granted the right to vote to women regardless of race, which legally included both black and white women. However, in practice, many black women, particularly in the southern United States, face significant barriers to voting due to discriminatory practices such as literacy tests, poll taxes, and other forms of voter suppression. These barriers persisted until the civil rights movement of the 1960s, culminating in the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which aimed to eliminate such discriminatory practices and enforce voting rights more equitably.
Was religion ever a basis for discrimination for voting in the United States?
If there is ever been a discrimination in voting in the United States, in the early period and into the early years of the United States, state laws that restricted voting rights based on religious affiliation. For example, many states allowed Protestants and discriminated Catholics, Jews, and non-Christians. Some states required office holder voters of certain Protestant denominations. These restrictions gradually diminished throughout the 1890s as the poll freedom became more restricted in Maryland's side, especially following the of the First Amendment, which guarantees resided influence as office. However, discrimination persisted formally from time.
Can you read that out?
Sure thing. In the history of the United States, religion was voting discrimination. State laws that Protestants voted based on Jews, these restrictions were especially for the business of often. However, nation existed often being more voted.
I mean, there's been Alex there for physical violence were used to discourage people in other voting. Organizations like the Ku Klux Klan actively suppressed black voter turnout through fear and intimidation. These methods were part of a broader system of disenfranchisement
practices, ensuring more equal access to the ballot for all Americans.
Do you think there's more work to be done for voter inclusivity?
Yes, there is certainly more work to be done to ensure voter inclusivity and equal access to the ballot. While significant progress has been made since the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, challenges remain. Some areas where work continues include 1. Voter ID laws. While intended to prevent fraud, these laws can disproportionately affect minorities, the elderly, and low-income individuals who may have difficulty obtaining the required identification. 2. Access to polling places. In some areas, particularly rural or low-income urban areas, there can be a lack of accessible polling places, leading to long travel distances or wait times. 3. Voter registration barriers. Complicated registration processes or strict deadlines can prevent people from registering to vote. Efforts to automate and simplify registration can help. 4. Gerrymandering. The manipulation of electoral district boundaries can dilute the voting power of certain groups, affecting fair representation. 5. Language and disability access. Ensuring that ballots and voting materials are available in multiple languages and accessible formats is crucial for inclusivity. 6. Restoration of voting rights. Many states have laws that restrict voting rights for individuals with felony convictions, even after they have served their sentences. Efforts to restore these rights are ongoing. Efforts to address these issues include legislative changes, grassroots organizing, and advocacy by various groups dedicated to ensuring that all eligible voters can participate in the democratic process without undue barriers.
It seems like a pretty big barrier to have to go somewhere.
Yes, having to physically go to a polling place can be a significant barrier for many people. Several factors can make it challenging, such as long distances to polling stations, limited transportation options, long wait times, and accessibility issues for those with disabilities. To address these barriers, some solutions have been proposed and implemented in various places. 1. Vote by mail. Allowing voters to cast their ballots by mail can make voting more accessible, especially for those with mobility issues or those living in remote areas. 2. Early voting. Extending the voting period over several days or weeks can help reduce congestion at polling places and allow voters to choose a convenient time to vote. 3. Online voter registration. Simplifying the registration process online can make it easier for people to register and update their voter information. 4. Mobile voting units. In some areas, mobile polling stations are used to reach remote or underserved communities. 5. Expanded polling locations. Increasing the number of polling places can help reduce travel distances and wait times, making it easier for more people to vote. Improving access to voting is an ongoing effort, and these measures can help ensure that more people can participate in elections without facing unnecessary obstacles.
How much would it cost to give everybody in the United States a $200 laptop to do mobile governance with?
To estimate the cost of providing every person in the United States with a $200 laptop, we would need to consider the current population. As of 2024, the population of the United States is approximately 334 million people. Multiplying the population by the cost of the laptop gives us the total cost of 334 million people. Tax $200 per laptop equals $66.8 billion. Therefore, it would cost approximately $66.8 billion to provide every person in the United States with a $200 laptop. This is a rough estimate and does not account for additional costs such as distribution, maintenance, or technical support that might be required for such an initiative.
How much does it cost to run the elections?
The cost of running elections in the United States varies significantly depending on the type of election, federal, state, or local, and other factors such as the size of the population and the methods used, e.g. mail-in voting, electronic voting machines. Here are some key points to consider. 1. Federal elections. The estimated cost for federal elections candidates, political parties, and outside groups on campaign activities. 2. State and local elections. The cost of running state and local elections can vary widely. For example, the cost of running a statewide election can range from a few million to tens of millions of dollars, depending on the size of the state and the complexity of the election. 3. Election administration. According to a report by the Brennan Center for Justice, the cost of administering elections, which includes expenses for staffing, equipment, and facilities, is estimated to be about $2 to $4 billion per election cycle in the U.S. 4. Voting technology and security. Upgrading voting machines, enhancing cybersecurity, and ensuring accessibility can also add to the costs. Many states have invested in modernizing their voting systems to improve security and efficiency. Overall, the cost of running elections in the U.S. is significant, but it's essential for ensuring the integrity and accessibility of the democratic process.
I vote give everybody a laptop, and then you can use it for other stuff.
Providing everybody with a laptop could indeed be a transformative initiative, potentially enhancing access to digital resources and civic participation. At an estimated cost of $66.8 billion. It's a substantial investment, but it could have widespread benefits, such as improving access to online education, telehealth, and digital government services. Implementing such a program would require careful planning to address logistical challenges like distribution, internet access, especially in rural areas, technical support, and ensuring that the devices are secure and user-friendly. It would also involve coordinating with local governments and organizations to maximize the program's reach and impact. While the idea might seem ambitious, it aligns with broader efforts to bridge the digital divide and ensure everyone has the tools needed to participate fully in modern society.
Is there a laptop that's
Sorry,
made...
I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Is there a laptop that's made completely in the United States right now?
As of now, it's quite challenging to find a laptop that is entirely made in the United States, from components to assembly. Most laptops are manufactured overseas, particularly in countries like China, Taiwan, and South Korea, due to cost efficiencies and established supply chains. However, some companies do assemble laptops in the US or use components that are manufactured domestically. 1. System 76. This company is known for assembling its computers in Denver, Colorado. They offer a line of laptops and desktops, and they are working towards more in-house manufacturing with their Thalio desktops, which feature cases made in the U.S.
If you had to make 330...
Purism is another...
If you had to make 330 million laptops, you'd be able to set up a huge supply chain for this product, and also you'd be able to reduce the cost because of the scale of manufacturing. Yeah, what I just said. I feel like if you had to build 330 million laptops, you'd be able to reduce the price with the scale of production. And then you'd also be able to set up a huge, unbelievable supply chain within the United States. And wouldn't all that money then go to the people who make the laptops and then that go back into income tax?
You make an excellent point about the potential benefits of large-scale production and its impact on the economy. Producing 330 million laptops domestically could indeed lead to several economic and logistical advantages. 1. Economies of scale. Mass production on such a large scale could significantly reduce the cost per unit. With economies of scale, manufacturers can spread fixed costs over a larger number of units, negotiate better prices for raw materials, and optimize production processes. 2. Job creation. Setting up manufacturing facilities for such a massive production run could create a substantial number of jobs across various sectors, including manufacturing, logistics, supply chain management, and technology. 3. Supply chain development. Building a robust supply chain within the U.S. could reduce dependency on foreign suppliers, enhance national security, and provide greater control over quality and technology. 4. Economic stimulus. The money spent on this project would circulate through the economy, potentially increasing demand in related industries and leading to further job creation. Workers employed in the production process would spend their income in local economies, which could generate additional economic activity and tax revenue. 5. Tax revenue. As you mentioned, the increase in employment and business activity would likely result in higher income and corporate tax revenues for federal and state governments, offsetting some of the initial costs of the project. While the idea is promising, it's important to consider the initial investment required, potential technological and logistical challenges, and the time needed to build the necessary infrastructure. However, the long-term benefits could indeed be significant, contributing to technological innovation and economic resilience in the U.S.
Also, with a DC power backbone and fresh water supply for urban areas on top of existing grid network. Man, woo!
Integrating a DC power backbone and fresh water supply into urban areas alongside existing infrastructure is an ambitious idea with the potential to enhance resilience and efficiency in city planning. Here's how these concepts could play out. 1. DC power backbone. Efficiency. Direct current DC power systems can be more efficient than alternating current AC for certain applications such as powering data centers, LED lighting, and electric vehicle charging stations. A DC backbone could reduce energy losses associated with AC-DC conversion. Renewable integration. DC power systems can more easily integrate with renewable energy sources like solar panels, which naturally produce DC electricity. This could promote cleaner energy use in urban areas. Microgrids. Implementing DC microgrids can enhance energy independence and reliability, especially in densely populated areas. They allow for localized energy generation and consumption, which can be crucial during power outages or emergencies. 2. Freshwater supply infrastructure upgrade. Modernizing water supply systems to ensure safe and reliable access to fresh water can address issues of aging infrastructure and water scarcity. Sustainability. Integrating smart water management technologies can improve water usage efficiency, reduce waste, and detect leaks in real time, ensuring sustainable water resources. Resilience. Enhancing water infrastructure can help cities better withstand natural disasters and climate change impacts, ensuring continuous access to fresh water. Implementing these systems alongside existing networks would require significant investment, collaboration across various sectors, and careful planning to minimize disruptions. However, the potential benefits in terms of sustainability, efficiency, and resilience make it a compelling vision for the future of urban development. These improvements could lead to smarter, more connected, and more sustainable cities, enhancing the quality of life for residents.
I just see, like in Los Angeles, where we have earthquakes, you break the water pipes, you're going to have no water for the whole system. But if you build a network on top of it with flexible hoses and desalinated water with solar panels, tidal, and wave power, like this is how it needs to go with a DC system that's off the standard grid. So when we lose the grid, we have microgrids with the solar panels and everything, the nuclear stuff.
You've outlined a forward-thinking and resilient approach to infrastructure, especially for areas like Los Angeles, where natural disasters such as earthquakes are a significant risk. Here's how your ideas could play out in enhancing resilience. 1. Flexible water infrastructure. Earthquake-resistant design. Using flexible hoses and materials designed to withstand seismic activity can help maintain water supply even when traditional pipes are damaged. Desalination. Implementing desalination plants along the coast, powered by renewable energy sources, can provide a reliable water supply independent of traditional freshwater sources. This can be crucial in emergencies when local supplies are compromised. 2. Renewable energy integration. Solar, tidal, and wave power. Utilizing a mix of renewable energy sources can create a diversified and resilient energy portfolio. Solar panels are already widely used, but integrating tidal and wave energy could harness the power of the ocean, especially along the California coast. DC microgrids. Implementing direct current microgrids can enhance resilience by allowing localized energy generation and distribution. This setup can operate independently from the main grid, providing power even during outages. 3. Backup power systems. Nuclear microreactors. Small-scale nuclear reactors can provide reliable and continuous power, acting as a backup during emergencies. These microreactors are designed to be safe and can complement renewable sources. Battery storage. Integrating advanced battery storage systems ensures that excess energy generated from renewables is stored and available when needed, further enhancing grid independence. 4. Decentralized systems. Localized solutions. By decentralizing both energy and water systems, cities can reduce their vulnerability to single points of failure. This approach allows communities to manage resources locally, improving resilience to large-scale disruptions. Implementing these systems requires significant investment and coordination between government, industry, and the community. However, the potential benefits in terms of sustainability, resilience, and energy independence make this a compelling vision for the future. It could serve as a model for other cities facing similar challenges, ensuring that urban areas are better equipped to handle natural disasters and other disruptions.
I was thinking about how you could have like a house with a computer program software running on it, machine learning, and it could talk with other houses and depending on the needs, share the load. So let's say someone has a CPAP machine and they need this, and they can negotiate and vote between the houses for who gets the power, and they can turn them off electronically.
Your idea of using machine learning and network smart homes to manage and share resources is both innovative and practical, particularly in enhancing resilience and efficiency. Here's how it might work. 1. Smart home networks. IoT integration. Each house could be equipped with IoT devices that monitor energy consumption, production, and storage. These devices would communicate with each other and with a central system to optimize resource allocation. Machine learning algorithms. Algorithms could analyze patterns in energy use and production, predicting when and where energy will be needed most. This could help optimize the distribution of power based on real-time needs and preferences. 2. Resource sharing and negotiation. Decentralized decision-making. Homes could negotiate with each other to share energy resources, prioritizing critical needs like medical devices, e.g. CPAP machines. A blockchain-based system could ensure transparency and fairness in resource allocation. Automated load balancing. The system could automatically balance loads across the network, turning off non-essential devices during peak demand to conserve energy for critical uses. 3. Resilience to energy management and smart living. The idea of interconnected smart homes sharing resources efficiently is indeed exciting. It offers the potential for greater resilience, cost savings, and environmental benefits. Do you want to explore any specific aspects of this idea further, such as the technology involved, potential challenges, or other applications of such systems?
I think the ethical and philosophical concept of using your battery in your house to power a neighbor's medical device sounds wonderful. It sounds loving, almost like loving your neighbor.
Absolutely. The idea of using technology to support and care for one another is a beautiful expression of community and cooperation. It aligns with ethical and philosophical principles that emphasize the importance of mutual aid, empathy, and the well-being of others. Ethical considerations. 1. Altruism. Sharing resources like energy reflects altruistic values where the needs of others are prioritized, especially in emergencies or critical situations. 2. Community support. This approach strengthens community bonds by fostering trust and cooperation. It emphasizes the idea that everyone benefits when we look out for one another. 3. Equity and fairness. Ensuring that everyone has access to essential resources, regardless of their circumstances, promotes fairness and equality within the community. Philosophical concepts. 1. Utilitarianism. This system can be seen as an application of utilitarian principles, aiming to maximize overall happiness and well-being by efficiently using resources to meet the greatest needs. 2. Social contract. It reflects a modern interpretation of the social contract, where individuals agree to contribute to and benefit from a collective system that ensures mutual support and security. 3. Interdependence. Highlights the connectedness of the community and how cooperation can lead to more resilient and sustainable living. Implementing a system would require careful consideration of privacy, consent, and autonomy to ensure that individuals feel comfortable and secure participating. However, the potential increase of passion is technology and vision for the future. This is how innovation drives very little, which
I mean, it really helps when people can all speak the same language. When you're all in different ways speaking different languages, it's hard to work together. But if we're all in software and hardware, we can all communicate together and work together.
You're absolutely right. Having a common platform where language significantly enhance communication and collaboration in the community. This idea can be applied literally in terms of language and metaphorically in terms of technology. Here's how. One common language, understanding and coordination. People speak the same language becomes easier to coordinate efforts and solve conflicts. It fosters a sense of unity and understanding. Inclusion. Language inclusivity also can mean provide translation tools and services to ensure that language barriers don't exclude anyone from participating. 2. Unify technology platform compatibility. Using common software and hardware ensures best communicating and share data, leading to smooth integration operation. Standardization. It reduces complexity and technical challenges as everyone follows the same standards and protocols. This can enhance efficiency and minimize errors. Collaboration. A shared platform facilitates collaborative tools and applications, enabling people to work together seamlessly, whether sharing energy resources or managing community projects. 3. Community identity. Shared goals. A common platform encourages people to work toward shared goals and objectives, reinforcing a sense of community and collective purpose. Cultural unity. Beyond just technological aspects, having shared cultural values or norms can further strengthen collaboration and cooperation. However, it's also important to balance standardization with diversity and flexibility, allowing for individual needs and preferences. Provide options and ensuring accessibility to help maintain inclusivity while reaping the benefits of a shared platform. This approach can empower communities to leverage technology for the greater good, making it easier to work together toward common objectives.
Tell me more about gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering is the practice of manipulating electoral district boundaries to favor a political party group. Can significantly impact the political landscape by influencing election outcomes. Here's a typical look at how gerrymandering works and its implications. Types of gerrymandering. 1. Partisan gerrymandering. This occurs when a party redraws districts to maximize its electoral advantage. The goal is to create as many districts as possible where a party has a majority even if it's slight, while concentrating the opposing party's vote into few district parties. 2. Racial gerrymandering. This all district lines in a way that diminishes voting power of racial or ethnic groups. It may use to vote across many districts or to concentrate them to a few districts to minimize their overall influence. 3. Partisan gerrymandering. Sometimes both major parties agree to draw district lines that protect incumbent parties, ensuring that districts remain safe regardless of shifts in public opinion. Techniques. 1. Cracking. This technique involves splitting members of the other party across many districts to not overrate them. This limits voting power. 2. This can concentrate as many of the opposing parties as possible into a few districts with large parties of the opposing party. This limits their influence in other districts. Consequence of gerrymandering. 1. Reduced competition. Gerrymandering often leads to districts that favor one party, reducing electoral competition and leading to less responsive elected officials. 2. Polarization. Safe districts can lead to more extreme candidates being elected. rejected as they are more focused on winning primaries than appealing to a broad electorate, contributing to political polarization. 3. Voter disenfranchisement. Gerrymandering can lead to voter disenfranchisement as voters feel their votes are less meaningful in manipulated districts. 4. Legal and political challenges. Gerrymandering often leads to legal challenges, as courts are sometimes called upon to determine whether district maps are unfairly drawn. The Supreme Court has ruled on various gerrymandering cases with mixed outcomes regarding its constitutionality. Reform efforts. Efforts to address gerrymandering include 1. Independent redistricting commissions. Some states have established independent commissions to draw district lines, aiming to make the process less partisan and more transparent. 2. Algorithmic and mathematical approaches. New technologies and mathematical models are being developed to create fairer district maps by analyzing demographic data and ensuring balanced representation. 3. Legal reforms. Various legal efforts aim to establish clearer standards for when gerrymandering violates constitutional rights. Although these efforts face significant challenges, gerrymandering remains a contentious issue in American politics, impacting the fairness and integrity of the electoral process. It highlights the ongoing struggle to balance political interests with democratic principles.
Are there any theories on how to deal with gerrymandering and make it more fair?
Yes, several theories and approaches have been proposed to address gerrymandering and make the redistricting process fairer. Here are some of the most prominent. 1. Independent redistricting commissions. Overview. These are non-partisan or bipartisan bodies that take over the responsibility of drawing district boundaries from state legislatures. Goal. The aim is to remove political bias from the process, focusing instead on criteria such as geographical contiguity, community interests, and population equality. Examples. Several states, including California, Arizona, and Colorado, use independent commissions to draw congressional and legislative districts. 2. Mathematical and algorithmic approaches. Algorithmic redistricting. Using computer algorithms to generate district maps based on objective criteria such as compactness, contiguity, and population equality. Mathematical measures. Tools like the efficiency gap measure how wasted votes contribute to one party's advantage and identify biased maps. Simulations. Creating numerous possible district maps to establish a baseline for what fair districts might look like. Identifying any deviations in actual maps. 3. Legal and constitutional reforms. Clear legal standards. Developing judicial standards to determine when gerrymandering violates voters' rights, potentially leading to clearer guidelines from courts. State constitutional amendments. Some states have amended their constitutions to include specific anti-gerrymandering criteria that district maps must meet. 4. Public engagement and transparency. Open processes. Ensuring that redistricting processes are transparent and involve public input, allowing citizens to propose maps and comment on proposals. Public access, making all data and software used in redistricting publicly available to promote accountability. 5. Proportional representation, alternative voting systems, implementing systems like ranked choice voting or multi-member districts to ensure more proportional representation, which can mitigate the effects of gerrymandering. 6. Political solutions. Bipartisan agreements, encouraging bipartisan cooperation to agree on fair districting principles, though this approach can be challenging due to inherent political incentives. Each of these approaches has its own advantages and challenges, and the effectiveness of any solution often depends on the political and legal context of a particular state. However, these strategies represent a growing recognition of the need to address gerrymandering to protect democratic principles and ensure fair representation.
How would I take my overall thoughts that we've discussed and kind of put it together in a way that I could present this to the American public in a speech?
Certainly. Here's a draft of a speech that incorporates the ideas we've discussed about fair governance, technological innovation, community resilience, and addressing gerrymandering. Feel free to adjust it to suit your style and specific audience. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about a vision for a future that embraces innovation, fairness, and community. In a world where technology is advancing rapidly, we have the opportunity to reshape the way we live, govern, and support each other. Imagine a society where every citizen has access to the tools and resources they need to participate fully in our democracy. Providing each person with a laptop is not just about bridging the digital divide, it's about empowering everyone to engage in governance, education, and community building. By investing in such initiatives, we not only stimulate our economy, but also foster a more informed and connected citizenry. In this vision, our homes are not just places to live, but hubs of innovation and cooperation. With smart technology, our houses can communicate with each other, sharing resources and optimizing energy use. Imagine a neighborhood where, during an emergency, homes negotiate power distribution to ensure critical devices like medical equipment continue running. This is a testament to the power of community and the principle of loving our neighbors. But to realize this future, we must also address the challenges that hinder our progress. Gerrymandering has long been a blight on our democracy, manipulating district boundaries to favor certain groups and diminish others' voices. It is time to reform this process. By adopting independent redistricting commissions, using technology to create fair maps, and encouraging transparency